Is CRK dying? Yes, I think it is. And in today's video, we're going to be going over some of the reasons that I think could be the cause of CRK dying and the decline of CRK over the past couple months. So we're going to be taking a look at some of the things DevSisters have done in-game to indicate this, and some of the things they've done out of game that indicate this as well. So let me first mention why I'm making this video. After seeing the Moonlight update and all the changes they made to the game with this update, also the shop stuff, and basically just the things that they've done to the game with the Moonlight update, this is what triggered me to make this video. So first, we're going to hop into some of the things that I've seen in-game that indicate a decline in CRK's player base and why they might be giving up on the game. And then we'll be talking about some of the stuff outside of Cookie Run Kingdom that also could be affecting this as well. So first, I want to say I think DevSisters is bleeding a lot of money just from the fact a couple months ago when they added ads into the game, first of all. That shows that there's been a decline in some of their spending player base or whale player base. So now they're adding in the ads for free-to-play players to click on to get free gems so they can get some type of revenue back because they're not making as much money from the whales anymore. That's always a first sign. If a game starts adding in ads into the game that allow you to claim stuff, it shows somewhat of a decline in the game. What made me really think the game was dying was the addition of Moonlight and also the decreased difficulty of every story mode or PvE content in the game other than Guild Boss. The reason why I say the game's heading down this path is because they're no longer catering towards their long-term player base and their late game players. They're catering to get new players into the game, and also the players that were really early game that quit playing the game. They're trying to get a new audience into the game because they've lost a lot of that core audience. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing by any means for new players, but by doing this, it does show a decline in the game pretty heavily if they have to decrease the difficulty of everything in the game. And also they give extra stat buffs for new players. They give a lot of things to new players right now, especially with the addition of the free ancient cookies. They're just trying to drive new people to the game, and they're not really catering to their long-term audience, which I think in turn could be a really bad thing for the game, because at the end of the day, the main thing keeping new players staying in the game is not necessarily the difficulty, it's the update schedule and how updates are released with Cookie Run and by Cookie Run. And as an example, we can use the Prophet update and also the Moonlight update as well. For the Prophet update, they really added nothing to the game other than Prophet Cookie. Outside of that, there was the gacha event, but I mean, there wasn't really interactive. There's not much you can do with that other than do your normal dailies and collect the rewards and go about your day. And with the Moonlight update as well. Moonlight came out and it provided a good week or two of content for late game players, and it added a lot of new content for new players. But with an update schedule of 4 weeks now, you have to wait 4 weeks until the next update, and we don't know if this update is going to be big, good, bad, or what it could be. If it flops like the Prophet update, then you just kill your player base even more and more. There doesn't seem like there's much money going into future development of this game. It doesn't seem like they're putting as much money into this game as they did before. Now, this is actually pretty common for gacha games to do, is they will update the game for a year or two, have a pretty consistent schedule, keep the game good, and when they see the player base dwindling, they will then do a huge banner, like a cash grab kind of, which I consider the Moonlight banner to be, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and try to get the bag and run away to their next project, because ultimately you can make more money off of making a brand new game and selling it to people, selling everyone the gameplay, selling everyone on the characters, get new whales into the game and get them to fund that game, rather than keeping players around for 2 years to keep them spending their money to keep your game up. It's just a bad return on investment when you're updating your games, and that's another reason why I think the game's in a decline. Now, hopping into the Moonlight update, I do think this whole Moonlight update is a huge cash grab on DevSisters' part to try to get as much money as they can to put it into development of other games, because ultimately they're probably going to drop development or a lot of development on this game. You probably won't see as good updates anymore. You probably will have a good update every year or so, maybe every 6 months or so, but other than that, you probably won't see very many good updates for this game anymore. I think that is particularly clear with the release of Moonlight. This is a fan favorite cookie that everyone wanted. They decided to skip an ancient cookie, which hasn't been released for almost a year now, because they know the hype behind Moonlight Cookie. Keep in mind, we just got Black Pearl maybe 4 months ago, if that. I don't know the exact timeline right now off the top of my head, but about 4 months ago when the Black Pearl Islands came out, that's when we got her, and now we have another legendary cookie being Moonlight Cookie. And just judging from the Moonlight shard market here, with all these packs they're selling, these are not good deals at all for this. The Moonlight thank you pack is not a good deal. Honestly, nothing here's a good deal. Everything seems overpriced because of the hype behind Moonlight Cookie. And to be honest with you guys, you can even see it here in the anniversary crystal shop. For 140 of the Moonlight crystals, which is 1/10 of a pull for the Moonlight banner, you're spending over a 10 pulls worth of gems on it. You can see how high they value Moonlight Cookie and how high the community values Moonlight Cookie, because they're they're charging these outrageous fees for this. So to me, this just seems like a huge cash grab. I really don't think much of this money they've made from this is going to go back into the development of Cookie Run Kingdom, which kind of leads me into the out-of-game aspect of this. Because with the announcements of things like Cookie Run Oven Smash and also Cookie Run Project B, you can see that their attention is drawn between two other games right now that are going to make them ultimately more money than Cookie Run is going to make them right now with their second year in development. DevStitchers knows of how strong the Cookie Run community is, and they know that they'll follow them throughout any game, so why not drop a game and just make a new game where the Cookie Run community is going to go to that new game, they get new players to this new game, and you get people to spend money on a new type of game with Cookie Run characters that you know and love. So this kind of leads me to the end of our video now. This is why I think Cookie Run is dying, and these are the signs that have been shown why Cookie Run is dying. Guys, in the comments below, let me know if you think Cookie Run's dying, or Cookie Run Kingdom per se is dying. Tell me if you think that it's absolutely wrong, or that you think you can see the same thing that I see. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one later. Bye-bye!